Welcome to T.E.C Station. Today I'm going to be showing off my destroyer build. My destroyer build is called the Starlight Class Destroyer, as you can see from the antenna beacon there. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to work my way to my large ship dock. As a reminder, T.E.C Station is also on the Steam Workshop. And I have modified one of the expansion modules on one of the arms into this bay. Nothing fancy. Just enough to show the videos. So let's get started. Get over here and extend the arm. Okay, we are now outside the ship. I'm going to retract this arm first, just to show it off a little bit more than I did in the previous videos. And from there I'm going to fly around and give a tour of the ship. This is just a simple destroyer class ship. It's just a small ship designed to punch above its weight class with heavy direct fire power. It's got some turrets for defense and automated offensive capabilities, such as the missile turrets. It's got its engines mostly in the back area. Top, bottom, side, they're all about equal. Forwards is your strongest suit, because this vessel is probably going to want to go forwards faster than it does any other direction for acceleration. Stopping power engines are actually cleverly hidden right in the front. There is actually more than just this one engine showing. I just needed an extra vent port for that, and that happened to be where that engine was. Otherwise, it'd be frying blocks. As you can see here, I also have I'm going to turn on my suit light so you can get a better view. You can see I've got plenty of missile launchers. Actually, they're called rocket launchers. My bad, sorry. But I have plenty of rocket launchers sitting right here in the front. Any target sitting in the front is going to be getting slammed really hard with those rocket launchers. This ship can even do a little bit of ramming action because it has these protective little fork spokes in the front. It's not necessarily designed to ram, but if it needs to, it is capable of doing so. From there, as you can see, I've put on some decorative starboard and port lights. Once again, that's just a thing passed on from the naval era. I think that just looks really nice and helps define the ship when you're out in space. Underneath is a connector, so this ship can just connect to another ship, such as, like, say, the station's top and bottom connectors I have over there, mentioned in another video, and it could just simply rearm and replenish itself. It's got 2 jump drives in it, and it's powered by reactors. I am now going to show off its maneuvering capabilities, but first I've got to turn off these docking clamps. This ship is now underneath its own power. As you can see, it's got entrance here, and it's got entrance on the other side. It's got a very, very small gravity field, just enough to help you get in and out of those doors. And as you can see, these doors are also protected by turrets. Most people would probably think that this up here is the bridge. That is actually what I would deem as a sensor tower. The sensor tower does also have a camera to help with accuracy with those missiles when you are firing them manually. But this is primarily a tower to withhold the antenna, as you can see from this little line here. If you're not familiar with Space Engineers, that means that there's no solid block behind that. But I figure the antenna doesn't necessarily need a lot of armor. It's just there to help you find your ship when it's floating out into space. This is the airlock to get into the interior of the ship. The interior of this ship is very small. It's just a small combat vessel. This is predominantly made to be a survival ship to help you defend installations such as the Icarus Station. You've got an air vent here, so you can pressurize in here. And we have a survival kit. This thing here can do possibly some light work with refining stuff, but it's not really going to do much, let's face it. It's mostly there as a med station, a very small one. And then I have a cryo chamber, so if you're out and about and need a cryo chamber, you got one. Um, I don't believe I have any way to directly access the inventory system except for from the outside connector. I normally keep some kind of way to do that, but this is a warship, not a civilian ship. From there, it's got a well-protected bridge. I believe I put some heavy armor blocks above the bridge. This thing does have heavy armor blocks in the front and a core structure around vital things such as the reactors. As you can see, the engines are all protected by heavy armor blocks. Oh, sorry, those are, I believe, light armor blocks. Not that big of a difference on this, but they are at least still armored up and hard to see, so most people probably will not target them instantaneously except for trying to get to the back. Okay, from there I'm going to turn on the HUD so people can see the acceleration rate of this ship. Let's get away from this station first. So we are able to test side-to-side acceleration. Not exactly a huge pick up and go or stop, but it's enough for the ship. And then up and down. Said it's reasonable. And then from full forwards has some pretty good pick up and go. And then for stopping, it's got enough to keep it pretty well protected. You can see the hidden engines are flaring up. But there are actually other hidden engine ports to slow down in this ship besides on the nose. For rotation, this ship is made primarily for rotational speed. So in theory, except for maybe light fighters, this ship here should be able to track any target pretty easily and keep them in the front, even if they try to get behind the ship into its more vulnerable rear. You can manually turn on and off the antenna. So if you're trying to sneak into someone, you can turn it off, or turn it on when you're away from the ship and you want to make sure you don't lose it. A little show of the missile pattern. Yeah, that is actually a pretty decent firepower allotment. The camera on the top can really help accuracy. I also have the 2 jump drives. You should be able to, I don't have it set up right now, they're just set up to jump. This was before I started setting things up to jump individual jump drives, but this one here can do quick movements of jumping out of one area and into another. If it's too hot there, it can jump right back out, or you can do a series of small jumps. You could also activate the 2 together to do one larger jump. So if you have a long distance to cover, you can still cover that. I see this as a quick response destroyer. It is not really an escort, but it should be able to punch above its weight class and at least do some considerable damage. And that's pretty much the ship. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this recording. I hope that you enjoyed my little destroyer project. And I also hope that you guys all have a nice day. Till next time.